listen.
If you're watching this in theaters, thank your lucky stars.
So we're getting into the second month of the year, and I wanted to gather up a watch list of all of the interesting movies coming out, since this is around the time where all the Oscar nominees from last year start rolling out. You even get some surprises during January, which is always seen as a dumping ground, and you'll also get a dude climbing a skyscraper live for Netflix.
I know Mark was excited being up there. Oh, no.
So I'm going to list my quick picks through different genres in order to hopefully put your next must-watch movie on your radar. Let me explain. Now, starting off with horrors, we can see that this continues to be the one genre that has expanded the most and is always the most successful in theaters, because we had Iron Lung that scared the big studios into realizing they're not the only thing needed when it comes to box office. Send Help failed at making McAdams ugly, but did deliver a fun time. And they even go into indies like Obex, which is about a dog that gets sucked into a video game, or Mother of Flies, where a cancer patient has tried everything, but now they're trying to make a deal with a witch.
Your curse is my gift.
It's the genre that's given us Killer Primates, Psycho Killers, the body horror of Honey Bunch, and probably the scariest thing of them all, a single lady on a train coming after you.
Would you like to be down with me?
What the hell am I doing here?
But starting off my list, I got 4 picks that I want to highlight, starting off with Hollow Road, which is a thriller that takes place all in a car where a couple rushes to help their daughter who's caused an accident.
Yes, you can.
She can't do this.
She has to.
To me, this would be a really good double feature with another one that came out last year called It Ends, which was actually one of the first to get picked up by Letterboxd, so that's another streaming service to keep an eye out for. But this one also takes place all in a car, as it follows a group of college students who can never stop driving or else things will come out of the forest to get them. Both are pretty solid movies, and what's crazy is that the director of Hollow is actually doing the official Cloverfield 2 sequel. So if you've been following since the A to Z days, you know I am hyped. Sweetness would be the next one, which is a South by movie about a 16-year-old fan who sets up an encounter with her favorite rock star in order to help him. It's pretty much Gen Z's Misery.
Your music changed my life. Helping you will be the greatest thing I ever do.
The Plague is another thriller starring a bunch of up-and-comers like Everett from Griffin and Summer, which I shouted out last year, and K.O. Martin, who pretty much has become the face of Gen Alpha for the internet. And honestly, I think he's next up. It's about a water polo camp where a bunch of bullies try to stop the spread of something they may have spread.
You guys got the plague. It's not funny, bro.
Redux is another South by thriller where the main character avenges her daughter's death, but she's jumping through parallel timelines to do it.
She's been dead in all of them. So I just keep killing the bastard who did this to her.
But on top so far for the horrors, before we get, the evil sounds of Undertone and Barney Gone Wrong with Buddy, it's gotta be the follow-up to 28 years later called The Bone Temple. Not only does it have some scenes that have been decades in the making, but it even changes how you see the zombies in this franchise, with another great performance by Ralph Fiennes and another killer bad guy done by Jack O'Connell.
Are you Old Nick?
Old Nick? You mean Satan?
Yes.
Now, before we get into more picks, a quick shout out to this video sponsor, Southern New Hampshire University, that's there to help start or restart your career path even with a busy schedule. SNHU gives you the options to pursue the job you want by being one of the largest accredited universities in the US with some of the most affordable tuition rates for online in the nation. That way you can help prepare for the job market in the career you want. With a lot of jobs revolving around the internet, there's always been this big push for communications and marketing degrees, and that's been the case ever since I started out on YouTube. And even now when I'm hiring for YouTube, it helps you gain real-world experience with programs that are more flexible than a streaming schedule, meaning that there's no set class times. You can work whenever you want and wherever you want, and you can even save time and money by transferring up to 90 academic, military, or experiential credits. So if you're interested in what US News and World Report voted as one of the country's most innovative universities, then head over to snhu.edu/letmeexplain to explore over 200 degree programs and pursue something you love today. Taking a quick look at the docs, I got 3 over here, with the first not even being a doc. It's kind of like a pseudo one. It's called The Moment. I'm even still mixed on this one, but I kind of do like what it was going for. Pretty much it follows a fictional version of the pop star Charli XCX, who's playing herself at the peak of her Brat tour, and now she has to deal with all of the branding and taking it to the next level. It's kind of trying to be a mix of Joaquin Phoenix's I'm Still Here and Spinal Tap, and Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
This is real? Yeah. I thought this was literally a joke.
But Skarsgård was really great at this. Next up is a documentary on the horror classic Texas Chainsaw Massacre that's up on Shudder called Chain Reactions. It's covering the legacy through never-before-seen footage and how it influenced not just the genre, but indie filmmaking, and it's way better than whatever that Netflix monster show was trying to cover.
Leatherface has 3 masks and takes on the personality of each one.
But my top doc so far would be Mel Brooks' The 99-Year-Old Man, a 2-parter on HBO about the legend and his entire career. Obviously, it's very funny, but it also breaks down his genius when it comes to the business and how his outlook on comedy kind of affects everything that he does in his life.
So I think that I can say anything serious via comedy.
It's also directed by Judd Apatow, who also has another great comedy doc on Maria Bamford that I just saw at Sundance, and both of them are going to be high favorites throughout the year.
I was born to make people laugh, so I do that.
Now, I haven't gotten too much into TV yet, but the 2 that I have seen would be Ponies over on Peacock that stars Emilia Clarke and Haley Lu as persons of no interest, or ponies, in the 70s, meaning that their CIA husbands have died as they're overseas, and now they have to go undercover.
You could have killed someone. I didn't know his coat was flammable. Everything is flammable once you light it on fire.
And so far, my favorite would be A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, because Thrones is back, baby. I had read this story of Duncan Egg a while ago, and I think this is a great take on it, as it follows a knight and his squire throughout Westeros, with episode 5 being as brutal as some of the best that Thrones has to offer.
Are you Baelor Targaryen? No. Then would you move the fuck out of the way?
Yeah. Sorry.
I know the other 2 big HBO shows are The Pitt and Industry, which I'm a season behind on both, and I've been hearing good things and even mixed things for one of these, but I'm curious to see which people are liking more, which other shows I need to catch up on, because I got these 2 on the horizon, and I'm almost there. Now, in between editing this, I actually did catch the first one to Wonder Man, and hey, Marvel might be back. That one's solid. Moving on to the dramas, I caught up with a festival favorite called The President's Cake, which was Iraq's Oscar submission about a little girl who gets chosen for the tradition of making a cake for the president, but she's got no ingredients. And if she fails, she's going to be punished.
Dishonor on your whole family.
Pillion is an adaptation of the novel starring Harry Melling, who falls head over heels for Alexander Skarsgård, as most do, and becomes the sub to his dom, or his pillion, since he rides in the backseat. It's a subtle character drama that tugs and pulls and tugs, as it plays on power dynamics and who's really the vulnerable one. At the Q&A where we saw it, the director even came out and said that he's been calling it a BDSM Wallace and Gromit, so keep that in mind going in.
How do you get a man like that?
I have an aptitude for devotion.
The Chronology of Water is the featured directorial debut of Kristen Stewart that adapts the novel about a woman who was raised in an abusive household and how that follows her through her swimming and writing career.
Memories are stories. So you better come up with one you can live with.
It's a very intimate movie that covers some hard subject matter, but it's shot extremely well. And it makes me also want to shout out another directorial debut from an actor with Harris Dickinson's Urchin, that's also up on Hulu. But topping this list, I've got the Sundance-winning drama Plainclothes that follows Tom Blythe as an undercover cop trying to stop gay dudes while being a gay dude. It takes place in the 90s, so it does this interesting thing with how it's shot, playing with the format that allows you to be in his headspace, especially when he's interrogating himself through the security-style footage.
Hello?
Thought you'd never call back.
Finally, we have the comedies that have some of my favorite movies on this list, as well as the only one that I've given 5 stars to this year. So far. But we'll get there. I'm starting off, though, with The Threesome, which is a rom-com gone wrong that they recently put up on Netflix, where a couple who's been flirting with each other end up with a third for a night, only for this goofball to get both of them pregnant.
She's beautiful. Is she still up for threesome?
That's the mother of my child, you disgusting animal.
Hi.
Do you always bring an extra person?
Next up is Atropia, which won the big award at Sundance last year, and is kind of in limbo right now for release, but it's about a military facility where soldiers practice before going overseas, and the town's made up of a bunch of actors in between roles. The director of this was also in the moment as Charlie's creative director, so she kind of lives in that meta realm, and while it has been getting a bunch of mixed reviews, I do think there's some interesting bits in it, some good jokes, and even the original short is still out on YouTube, so you can check it out for free to see if you vibe with it.
Now what?
Control, confirm what's up with the donkey bomb.
I don't know. I pressed it.
You are good. You have to get out of here.
Over on Netflix is Bunny, a comedy heist thriller that played at South by, where I had asked such a great question that they even gave me a hit. And then Sandler even gave this one a shout out. It follows a guy who kills a henchman that's after him and spends the whole day in his building trying to hide the body on his birthday, as he has an Airbnb guest over, and is also meeting his father-in-law for the first time. It's pure goofy chaos if that's what you're looking for.
Everything all right?
No. I mean, yeah, of course.
Twinless is the Sundance dramedy about two guys who bond after losing their twin brothers, but are both hiding secrets from each other. It has one of my favorite split-screen shots of last year, and gets even better every time that I see it. And I also think Dylan O'Brien is pretty underrated in this with how he plays two roles.
Who's older? I am now that she's dead. No, I'm kidding.
I'm Dennis.
And finally, there's Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie. The film that I gave 5 stars out of South by, which a couple of people thought was too high for a comedy. Now that it's out, everyone understands. If you haven't seen the show, you've probably seen some of their goofy clips like the Nintendo Wii song, but honestly, you can go into this one blank and you'll get the bit, because it's just these two dudes who've been trying to book a gig at their local venue, and in this one, they end up time traveling. It's hilarious, surprisingly heartfelt, and the way it's shot is something that I think people will be breaking down for a while. Amanda and Zach both got interviews with the boys explaining a little bit of their process, but just know that this is going to be one that's going to stay on my top list all the way through the end.
What's going on here?
It's just well, this is actually kind of hard to explain.
Now next up, I'll be going down to Texas for South by Southwest to get in early on the next must-watch picks, but I have been updating a lot of coverage over on our website, theatozshow.com, where we've been breaking down Sundance, South by, pretty much most of the festivals. We got links over there for our Intercut podcast coverage with Zach and Amanda the Jedi, and I'll be looking to do a full winter wrap-up on these in a live stream later on, to bring back the old monthly must-watches. March does have a lot of great upcoming movies, so I'm curious to know what you're looking out for, what movies are on your radar, what have I missed that I should have added on this list, because really, that's why I do these. I want to see what I missed so that you guys could put me onto things. But thank you guys for watching, and until next time, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and you'll get the best IMAX seats for the Odyssey.